Hey guys, welcome to the new video. This Hey guys, welcome to the new video. This is my first gameplay, and the game I will be playing is Seduce Me, the Otome, Part 1. I got this game from Steam, and I will show you. See, here it is. And if you want to contact me on Steam, my username is The Fallen Black Roses. And they're all like separate capital words. The first letter. Now, here's a few warnings. This is for ages of 16 and above. It does inflict on violence and triggers. And there have been a few mouthed out curse words. I have turned off the voice acting, so I'll have to read it until I turn it back on. But last video I tried uploading. It didn't end up very well. Anywho, here's one more thing. There's other people in the house, so I may be pulled out of the room. So if I am, then please be patient. And as always, let us start. This is a fictional interactive narrative. If any character resemblance is to real life people, then it is purely coincidental. Also, please know that the following game is made for PG-16 audiences. Please know that sexual violence themes are explored in this game. Trigger warnings, abuse, impelled, rape, and suicide. You have been warned. So let us continue. Please enjoy. Why, hello. Aren't you a gorgeous sight? Can I be honored enough to know your name? I don't like that name. I'm not letting you all decide because I don't want to. A lovely name for a lovely person like you. Wonderful. Eric, please do your job. Very well. This game is powered by Surfrium Entertainment under the direction of Michele Laws and powered by RenPy Visual Novel Engine. We truly hope you'll enjoy this story. I know I'll enjoy it since you'll be in it. Jesus, that guy is such a pervert. Eric. Fine, fine. Farewell, my sweet. Somewhere over the rainbow, where the skies are blue. I don't know. Ah! Ah! Come on, is that all you got? Wanna try me, asshole? Excuse my language. Oh, gunshots. Gunshots. Gunshots! Crap. Missed. Let's retreat for now. No kidding. Let's get out of here. That's right, you better run, you stupid punk. Stay out of our territory. Call it fate or call it coincidence, that one moment of violence started a chain of events I will never forget. This formula created in this... Yeah, I didn't even say the name. Miss Phillips. This for... Yeah. Excuse me for a minute. Let me get a drink of water. Miss Phillips, This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important in the field of financial theory. Miss Phillips. It is used to calculate the price of European-style options and is widely used in upper option marketers, though there are some differences that are now corrected with the modern viewpoint. Rain. It's been a long time since we've gotten rain around here, but it is the season for rainy weather, so it is not exactly that surprising. Personally, I love the sound of it. The way the raindrops fall, like the soft tapping of fingers. It is so soothing. Even though the droplets hit the glass of the window, was strangely calming. For some reason, I felt lucky for having a seat next to the window, though I did spend more time staring outside than I did paying attention in class. The lectures in class were pretty boring. Miss Phillips' voice wasn't so por- horrific, but it wasn't interested in what she was saying. And since it was the period right before lunch, all I could think about was doing other things in my free time. Honestly, I don't really care much for economics. Sure, I had good grades in this class, but it was only because I read the textbook and did my assignments like as I had to. I was only think think talk I was only taking this class because of its mandatory. If it were up to me, I would probably have taken another course. Luckily, it was my senior year, so after this semester, it would mean the end of high school courses forever. Thank God for that. Yes, thank God for that. Um, I didn't hate school. It was just kind of Mandoon, how the days drifted on, as if there were no end to it. I get you there. I know what that feels like. The only thing that I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends and hanging out with them, but that was kind of it. In short, I was done with high school. The start of the second semester brought a note of finality to it. I had already applied to many universities that semester prior, and I was expecting replies sometimes in the next few months. It seemed like a start of something new, something that would change. That is, if things could change. I stared at the faint outline of the raindrops in the distance. For now, I was stuck in class. I was stuck in this class. Let me get another drink real quick. Miss Phillips. Miss Anderson. Miss Phillips raised her voice, interrupted my train of Miss Phillips' raised voice interrupted my train of thought. Just when I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. Hopefully she didn't pick me just because I just because she noticed that I was spacing out. Um, Ryoko. Um, yes, ma'am. Miss Phillips, would you care to name the equation I've set up on the blackboard? Oh, I had read about that in my textbook last night. It should be Ryoko. The black sh- the black shows model formula. Miss Phillips. Very good as always, Miss Anderson. Anderson. It followed me wherever I went. Most people didn't really know me by my first name, but rather by my surname. No doubt since surname was the trademark of the internationally famous and prolific Anderson family toys, and because the founder was my own grandfather. Shuzu, one of my best friends, turned around and proudly gave me a punch to the shoulder. Shuzu, kick ass, girl. From beside me I heard Naomi, another one of my best friends, clearing her throat in obvious disapproval of Shuzu's choice of words. Naomi, she means she means good job. Miss Phillips, Miss Capiani, Shuzu. Oi, Miss Phillips. Care to tell me who the creators of the formula were? Shuzu. Some guys named Black and Schulz. Naomi. Franchiser Black and Marin Schulz. Miss Phillips. Very good, Miss Patterson. Shuzu. Show off. Naomi. Better study next time, Shuzu. Be like us and study once in a while. Shuzu rolled her eyes and slouched in her chair as Naomi gave her a small smirk. She always pouted when Naomi showed her up. Miss Phillips. That's the end of today's lecture. Now let's separate into groups and work on your projects. Remember, everything is due on Monday. Go ahead now. Before I knew it, Suju and Naomi had scooted their desk to align with mine, and we turned into the three musketeers. Musketeers. Whenever the teacher let the students decide on the groups, we always grouped together in our little trio. It was sheer stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class, so we had to at least take the opportunity and stick together as much as we could. Besides, we were the most comfortable around each other then, say, compared to being around any other classmate. It always made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. I took out the poster we've been working on and rolled it open and onto the three desks. We pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, though we still did add a few finishing touches here and there. After working and making on after working on making the poster a bit prettier, we sat back and inspected our work to see what we still had to do. Naomi, as usual, was the first to look for many issues. She lightly tapped pencil on her chin, staring intently at the project. Alright, so let's see. We finished the budget section, the building leasing, the cost for labor. What else do we need? Shuju straightened up to look at the poster and stroked her chin. A few seconds. Her face brightened and she spoke up. Shuju, how about a company name? Naomi. Huh? Did we really skip over that? Shuju. Of course we did. You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skip over the fact that we need a name for our projects. Naomi, gah, at least we caught it this time. What do we name it? Not sure. What do you think, Ryuka? It always came down to me whenever there was something to be named or titled. It I was the master at the ending decision, even when I didn't want to be. I like Trinity Corporations. Shuju. That is way too predictable. How to how about the Dragon Company? Naomi. What do dragons have to do with our project? Suju. What? It's totally unpredictable name. It's hot. Naomi. But our company sells bubblegum. Shuju. Who said we can't produce spicy bubblegum? Naomi. What do you think, Ryoko? Shuju. Yeah, what do you think, Ryoko? Both of them looked at me expectantly, though I wasn't quite sure of myself. I wasn't I didn't really want to choose sides, but if it were up to me, I would say they have choices. The Trinity Corporation sounds just fine. Um, I like the Dragon Company. Um, huh, let me see. Alright, guys. I looked up some results, and I will be going with I like the Dragon Company because it sounds fiery. Who wouldn't want fiery gum? Unless you're bland people are just going with Trinity. I like that name though. I like the Dragon Company. Suju. Booyah! Dragon Company it is. Naomi. Alright, now that we've decided on a name, now what? As we ended our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. Was it? Ryoku. Huh? Who's that? Shuju. Ignore it. It's just Lizette. I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing with a circle of her friends, mostly mostly comprised of popular people that practically in the school that were practically friends with everyone in school. As a result, everyone in the school knew them. In the center of it all was Lizette White. She sat with a posture that indicated that she was still working, but that she was ready to casually chat about her day. She had an endearing balance of charmastic and awkward, which was readily apparent when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh. She was quite the comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. No, not that she was like a robot or something, but she was the student that everyone else wanted to be. Lizette was bright, easygoing, and above all, had a future laid out right in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to do after high school, and as a result, she was confident and ambin- ambitious, ambitious. Though sometimes it could rub a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her since I was young, but it had ultimately resulted in a rival, rivalry that continued my day. One second, please. Okay. Of course, my friends knew what was between us, and upon seeing my glance at her, they shifted their attention to her. Naomi. She doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion. Suju. She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work. Naomi. Come on, Shuzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the glant priss, the giant priss that you're making her seem to be. Suju. The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you. Oh, wow. That was mean. That was mean. Naomi. What's that supposed to mean? Suju. Never mind. Suju. It's about time. Let's bail. Oh, dear God, she's fast. Unsurprisingly, Suju was the first one out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strolled out the door. Naomi. Her seat isn't even the closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that. Me and you too. Me and you both, Naomi. I wish I was as fast as her out of getting out of here. Oh dear God. So many choices. Okay, I'm going with me and you both, Naomi. She's such a cute girl. She gave me a smile, as if relieved by the fact that I felt the same way as she did. Naomi, see? Why can't she just be normal like the two of us? Because no one's normal. Normal isn't a word, unless you're counting chickens. Those things are not normal. Ryoku. Since Shuju, Naomi. It's Suju, Naomi. Think about it. Very true. Shuju. Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what? Naomi. We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings. Shuju. Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit. Ryoku. I do have to admit I was spacing out, and because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian. Naomi. Okay, so it wasn't too interesting, but you should at least pay attention when Miss Phillips is talking about the important parts. Shuju. So you're finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson. Naomi. Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom, and never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye. Despite this, they both burst out in the laughter. Normally, anyone would think that the opposites like them would never associate with each other, but even though they were so different, their fin- friendship somehow made a lot of sense. They're so cute! I like the animators here. Maybe it's just they were just perfect complements, or personality just didn't dedicate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three have been best friends since preschool. Shuju. Alright, so where are we heading first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum. Spicy, spicy. Naomi. Who would ever buy that, I wonder? Suju. Me, I would pay good money to get a taste of it. Woman, you are hellfire. You love spicy things. Haha, you do. Ryoku. Haha, you do like spicy foods, after all. So good. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with the aromas of different kinds of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely. Ooh. Cajun fries and spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal. I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suju. Sorry, I have allergies. Juju. I can't be tamed by the looks of that. If it's spicy, then I got to be all or nothing. Naomi, you're crazy! Suju, hell yeah, I'm crazy. Naomi, I think I'm getting a migraine. Ryoku, I think I'll go with just mac and cheese and a soda. Persian, Persian fries and spicy chicken burger too. Naomi's having to. Okay, I'll go with Naomi's because I like tuna and I like some orange juice. Ryoku, a tuna sandwich sounds pretty good right now anyway. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Juju leaned back in her chair, tilting it back so she could rest her feet on the table by our food. All right then. Is there anything we want to talk about? Ha! Suju. Ha! Bored already. Naomi. I know, let's talk about Suju. Say boys and I will never speak to you ever again. Naomi. Oh, why not? Suju. What's so interesting about guys? It's not like any of us are gonna get a boyfriend anytime soon. Naomi. We don't even know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend? Oh god. Juju. Let's just get to happening. Like that's gonna yeah, like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You are a ditzy blonde. She doesn't even look blonde. Naomi. Hey! Suzu. No offense. And Anderson here, well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend that she wants. Naomi. Or girlfriend. Suzu. She can be a lesbian if she wants. Naomi. True. Ryoku. It's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet. Suzu. Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend. Naomi. Maybe she's just not interested in relationships, Suzu. Well, Ryoku. Well, it really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. My throat is dry. Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there were not many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers of the cafeteria started up, and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria. Intercom. Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring all your things with you. Naomi. Oh my. Shizu. Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally came to get you. Ahaha. Naomi. Suju. Don't joke around. What if it's serious? Suju. Fine. If something happens, just call us. Funny enough, something did happen. And it was certainly no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. I'm going to see this real quick. As you can see, my save points right there. And before, Oh, played it more than I played that. How funny. Hmm. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by the rolling thunder. Now and then the skies had turned black, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was exactly the opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. Although I could see, all I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone gulches that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. I was gathering a small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled up around a simple, small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in heavy silence. I looked beside me, where my father was standing, holding a large black umbrella for our small family of three. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth gray tombstone before us was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small. Only close family were allowed to come. Slowly, the people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind behind the grave. A man dressed in clean black fudge. Fudge. Man dressed in a clean black suit came by. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents. And now, lawyer, and now I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament. Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why, lawyer, and to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate and all the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall be given to my granddaughter. Ryuku. What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate at 18? That was impossible. Yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand. Mr. Anderson, he passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised? Miss Anderson, dear Mr. Anderson. Well, if he had anything to say about it, what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company? Lawyer, no. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed in the position. Mr. Anderson. Heh, even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face. Mr. Anderson, about the estate, should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school. Miss Anderson, are you sure we should? Mr. Anderson, why not? This would be a good experience for her. Miss Anderson, honey, what do you think? Ryuku, it wasn't, I wasn't really sure what to say. Why did grandfather think I was appropriate here for the mansion, to the mansion? When I even, when, was I even ready to live on my own? Mr. Anderson? Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little Harris needs some time to adjust. Miss Anderson, David! Even though she raised her voice to my dad, wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested. Miss Anderson, don't mind him, honey. I think your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why didn't we go back home now? Ryoku, can you can go ahead and to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa. Miss Anderson, of course. Take all the time you need. She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. Dad, Dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that laid in front of me. Ryoku, I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day that they pass away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet his grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Ryoku, sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. Ryuku, you told me to stay strong, but right now, I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time, a long time ago. Ryuku, Grandpa! Grandfather, oh, it's good to see you again, sweetie. I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both began to laugh as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about my grandfather. The way he graded me, unlike my father. My grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Ryuko, sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, getting that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well. Grandfather, is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right? Ryuku. Yeah. So, where are we going today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we can go? Grandfather, oh, I would love to, but I've been busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see? Ryoko, yes. Ooh, is that a toy? Grandfather, yes, it is. I'm designing a new line of them, but I feel something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you? Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile and inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted and obviously a lot of work put into it. There was one thing though, Grandfather. So what do you think, Ryuko? Hmm. I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive. And it could be a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silence, deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle. Grandfather, it's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make a perfect toy. Ryoku, well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandfather. You want to make toys as well. Grandfather, don't worry too much about it. You'll have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well. Ryoku, that makes sense. Daddy doesn't think the same way, though. Your father, I'm sure he just wants the best for you. Not sure about that. Grandfather, sweetie, look at me. He bent down to look at me eye level, with a serious look on his face. Grandfather, does your father said something that doesn't make sense to you now? You must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally. I don't hate Ryoku. I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though, Grandfather. Your father and I have some difficulties with each other in our past, but nothing that you shouldn't be concerned about. I heard tad bits of this from my mother and various other people. Those people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying any word about the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. Ryoku. It's hard, though, trying to pretend like there's nothing wrong, Grandfather. However, no matter what, we have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there comes a day when it seems like you're against the world already. And, well, but always remember that your family and friends will be there with you. Grandfather, Mommy, Daddy, your friends at school, me, will stand together to get you through it. Ryuku, how can you be sure of that, grandfather? Because we'll be right here and here. He pointed a finger to my head first, and then pointed it to my chest. Grandfather, so stay strong, promise? For a moment he looked almost sad, pleading, but quickly as it came, the expression disappeared on his face, and he smiles once again. Ryoku, promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa lets out a great burst of laughter and stood up. Grandfather, all right, enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you to that new cafe, but sure, we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork. Ryuku, homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen. Grandfather, hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be. Ryoku, you willed me to very home that I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I was ready to take it, especially after this? A surge of anger bubbled up within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use of getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. Ryoku, I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you left me so many questions, especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? Talking to a grave. My vision blurred. I suddenly realized I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. Ryoku, I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill the promise I gave you, even if my the world might turn against me. I left the grave, wiping my tears hesitantly, so my parents wouldn't see. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to stop here for now. So that was Seduce Me the Otome. And thank you for watching the video. I'm sorry if it was short. I've been busy for the last few months and stuff. So I hope you liked the video. If so, then, well, keep up with them. Do whatever you wish. I don't care if you follow me. I don't care if you subscribe. I don't care if you even like it. It's just I'm doing what I love. And as Onision says, do what you love. Doesn't matter. Well, he didn't really say that, but he kind of hints it. Anyway, goodbye. Till next time. Adios. Signing out. Midnight Lullaby.